Hello everyone, welcome back to Country View Acres. So my name is Evan, and today we are actually under a winter weather advisory. It may not look like it right now, but we're actually supposed to get like 4 to 7 inches sometime tonight or this afternoon through tomorrow. So that's actually a pretty decent amount of snow for our area. May not sound like a lot to a lot of people out there, but that's actually pretty good for our area. So we're going to try to go around today and just kind of make sure that everything's ready for the snow that we're about to get, so we're kind of prepared for it. So of course I need to get some firewood gathered up and up to the house. I need to get some kindling made. I'm pretty much out of kindling. And then Rebecca actually has another idea for us today. She's worried about the goats. So the goats up front, the boy goats up front are kind of in a carport, and she really wants the goats to be more out of the wind. So she wants us to build like a wall, maybe like a short wall in there to help block the wind, just so that the goats have a nice little area that's a little more protected. So let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully we can get this finished up before we get some snow on the ground. So Rebecca is worried about the wind, the cold winter wind blowing through here from the west side. And we actually only have a half wall on the west side, so there's not a lot of protection here for the goats. In fact, really only back in this back corner is about the only place they can kind of huddle outside of the wind. So she wants to build a wall across here to give them a little more protection. So we went around the farm and we looked to see what we could come up with to build a wall out of. We actually ended up finding a barn door. It's not very big, but it'll work out, I think, fairly good. It'll end up being probably somewhere about this tall, and we'll lay it down across here, and that'll make a nice half wall to at least protect the goats back in this corner. And then we found a post that we'll use, an old 4x4 post, and we're going to attach it to the top, one of these rafters here at the top, and then we'll bring it down to the ground and attach it to the ground. I'm thinking about using a piece of rebar driven into the ground and then set the post over that, and that'll help hold that in place. And this should make a nice little area for the goats to be out of the wind. So let's go ahead and get started. When in doubt, get the pry bar out. Oh, that was an easy one. Well, that was a pretty quick project. So we just ended up having this material laying around, so it didn't cost us anything. That's always good. And this should give added protection from the wind. So the goats should be a lot more comfortable back there, especially since we're getting that snowstorm tonight. So these are pork burgers from the pigs that we had butchered this fall. So while my food is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and test our generator, make sure that it starts up okay. So I did bring this out here a few weeks ago, and I made sure it was topped off with fuel, and it does have fuel stabilizer in it. We have on our house, we have a breaker interlock in our main breaker panel that allows us to backfeed the house and power it with this generator. You can see we have a plug-in on the side of the house here, and that's where we plug the generator into. So let's go ahead and turn the fuel on and see if this thing will start up. Oh wait, so this actually has an on-off switch, and I do this every time. I always forget to flip it, and I end up pulling this thing several times before I remember. Try it again. All right, generator's running okay. Let's go back to cooking lunch. So I've got me a brand new pair of boots today that I've been trying out. So these are an Ariat hybrid rancher boot, and these are a waterproof boot. I always like having a waterproof boot, and I've been wearing these all morning, and they've just been comfortable, no problems with them so far. And I never actually had slip-on cowboy boots till earlier this year, and I always wore tie-on boots. And Rebecca hates tracking dirt in and out of the house, and you can see that she has kind of like a no shoe policy. So she'd always make me take my boots on and off, and so I got really tired of having to tie and untie my boots 5 or 6 times a day as I went in and out of the house, because there's always something that I would forget, and I'd have to come back in the house and just constantly taking your boots on and off. And so I finally broke down and went to get some slip-on boots, because I knew they would be just a lot faster to slip on and off if I needed to run in and out of the house. So I ended up going to a boot store, and I asked them, I said, hey, I'm looking for some slip-on cowboy boots, and what do you guys suggest? And they said, well, our most popular boot that we sell is a Ariat Work Hog. And I said, okay, let me try that out. So I tried on the boots. They helped size them to me so that they fit properly, and I've been wearing Ariat Work Hog boots since the spring, and I've been really happy with them. They started off comfortable from day one, and I'm still wearing them today. And this is the first time I've tried this set of boots on. But how I got these boots back here, Ariat actually contacted me, and they said, hey, would you be interested in trying out our new hybrid rancher boots? And just, give us a shout out on one of your videos. And that was the first time that a company has contacted me that I actually have spent money on and that I actually was using every day. And I thought that was great. I'm like, finally a company contacted me with something that I actually have bought and use. And I'm like, yeah, I'll try out your boots. I'm like, I already own your boots. I know exactly what size I wear. Send them right over. So they ended up, you know, sent me these boots, and I am glad that these are waterproof boots because this set right here, pretty nice set of work boots, and I like the, you know, having the, it's almost kind of got the work boot tread on the bottom, and you can see, obviously see how dirty they are already. You don't want to be tracking this stuff in your house, especially the stuff that we walk through around here. But with the weather and everything, then you're always outside. Definitely waterproof set of boots is great. And I definitely stand behind Ariat boots. I think they have a good product, and you ought to check out their, if you want to check out these boots or check out their website, I'll leave a link in the description below. So next on the list is to make up some kindling. I actually only have maybe enough pieces for one more fire. So I'm gonna go up front, see if I can make up a bunch. I don't know about you, but for me, I end up having a lot of scrap lumber. And to me, I think that's a pretty easy way to make some kindling. And I've got some wood left over from that timber frame, the timber frame firewood rack that we just made the other day. So I'll probably take some of that, cut it down into smaller blocks, and then see if we can split that into kindling. So speaking of tracking stuff in your boots, you're going to track it in your vehicle too. So having some kind of rubberized lining or these WeatherTech floor liners are really handy too. So if you end up using scrap lumber for kindling, you got to make sure you're using solid wood. You don't want to use anything that has glue in it. Nothing like plywood, particle board, or OSB. You also don't want to use treated lumber either. The good thing about this is it's definitely kiln dried, so it's nice and dry. It will burn quickly, but it'll help get a fire started. I doubt that stays up there very long. What do you think? All this kindling will probably be on the ground later. Well, I think the only thing left to do now is just to go get some firewood. So we just built this firewood rack the other day, and I think if we fill this most of the way up, that should be plenty of firewood to last us for a while. So let's go ahead and head back up front. So we actually have a little bit of firewood left over from last year, and that's this, you look here and you see some stacked firewood here on the back. That's last year's firewood. And the firewood pile that we split a few days, a couple weeks ago, it's actually kind of leaning on there. So hopefully we can get this out and get it back to the house, but I think some of this wood pile is going to actually fall while we do it. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Alright, well, I think that's good enough. Weather like this, it makes you want to stay snowed in for a little while, stay at home. Come on. Keep coming. Keep coming. Okay. Well, it looks like the snowstorm's actually already started. So I think that's everything we needed to do. So I think the house is actually cooling down inside right now. So I think I'm gonna go in and start a fire and relax the rest of the night. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. I'm supposed to stand in front of the camera? Okay, I'm in front of the camera. What are you doing?
I totally
You trying to throw a snowball at me?
I missed.
You're sneaky.
It would have been way better if I hit you.
Well, you're gonna hit my camera. Watch it. That's it. You're going down. It's on. I think I need the snow. This is not perfect snowball snow.
You have to use
This is too fluffy.
You have to smush it like this.
I gotta smush it.
Yeah.
Like that.
You have to use the warmth of your hands.
Yeah, you're using your hands to
Yeah,
melt it.
that's the best kind. My hands are freezing now.
Yeah, I bet that made your hands cold. You make snow angels?
We'll have snow down our backs.